To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
What is it about Disney that makes us happy? Is it the magical whistle as your ticket is scanned at the main gate? Is it the seafaring smell of pirate water? Or is it charting a course to a land where you may never grow up? Whether it's singing a familiar song, watching a movie, or riding your favorite attraction for the 100th time, Disney undeniably has a way to warm our hearts, believe in magic, and bring joy into our lives. This is Main Gate Magic, a podcast where we break down and discuss the infectious happiness, delight, and thrill of all things Disney.
And beyond!
Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Main Gate Magic. Happy to be back on a Tuesday night. It is 6 p.m. on the 16th of September. Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. We've got an amazing special guest in our show tonight, and taking up the big stage in the, well, kind of off center and to the left, at least on my screen, is Mr. Bill Burns. Bill, welcome to our show. Oh, wrong
Thank you.
sound effect. I was going to do, aww. Yeah, that was wrong.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thomas, before I start getting into all the questions, want to, of course, give a shout out to you and see how you're doing tonight. How's everything going? How's your week?
It's going good. Just enjoying a day off from work.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Amen. I know you kind of have off. You have a different weekend. Yours is like on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and
Yeah,
sometimes I envy that. But
my Mondays are my Fridays. So
yeah. Well, Bill, let's get into why we actually have you on the show. So you actually kind of got some recognition by dressing up during a certain Dapper Days at Disneyland one year. Can you kind of just give us some background about that, and what specifically you actually looked like when you dressed up for that day?
Well, I've been doing Walt. Are you talking up to the video that went viral?
Yeah, sure. I mean, let's just talk about your first interaction. Like, you know, when you went to the park and you dressed up for the very first time, went to Disneyland,
Yes.
and you walked in the park. What was it like?
That would be, I first brought out, well, you're familiar with Dapper Day, right?
yeah,
Absolutely.
And
Love
we
it.
had been doing Dapper Day for a couple of years, and I wanted to do something different. So let's go back to like 2018. My wife and I were at Goofy's Kitchen, where the characters are there while you're eating. And Pluto came over and, got next to me. We took a picture. I kind of did a smile that I don't usually do. And we look at the picture, and my wife says, "Who does that look like?" And I said, "Pluto's boss." Is that what it looks like? And we just kind of laughed it off. So we laughed it off, and I hadn't really, thought about it. And so we did Dapper Day. And I'm trying to think, I wanted to do something different for Dapper Day. And I stumbled upon that picture, and I'm looking at it going, I might be able to pull this off. So I bought a suit. I watched many, many videos of Walt, his mannerisms, the way he moves, the way he I practiced his smile in the mirror. Okay, that's weird. I watched the way he moved his hands and brushed his hair, and right down to the Smoke Tree Ranch pin. So I bought a suit. I got everything together, and on, I think, fall of 2021, I rolled him out for the first time, and people were like doing a double take and saying, "Hey, Walt, hi, Walt." And people really, I to this day, when I'm in the park dressed as Walt, I have never said I am Walt Disney in the park. I just, when you go into the park, people bring that magic with them, and they've already got it in their minds who this person is or who that character is. So I took Walt out another time, and by the third time, we had realized we had not yet taken a picture with Mickey Mouse yet.
Oh.
So we had gone to, and this was fall of 2022, and it was Walt's third outing. So we brought him out there, and we were standing in line, for our chance to take a picture with Mickey. And the cast member there, I don't know if you know who he is, Thomas. His name is Elijah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yes. Well, he was there, and he's looking at his clipboard or his tablet, and he's got his head down, and he goes, "Well, we're closing off the line, sir." And he looks up and he goes, "Oh, can you come over here for a minute?" He was so calm about it. So we go over and we stand by the Mad Hatter building there, and Mickey finishes the line, and then you saw what happened in that video. That was all genuine. You saw that's exactly what happened. We took our picture. We did not shoot that video. So an hour later, we go on our way, and a friend of mine texts us, and she says, "What did you guys do?" I said, "We didn't do anything. We got our pictures with Mickey. We had a good time." Says, "There's a video up there with 1 million views on it." And I go, "We didn't do it." So, as the days going by, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. By the end of the week, there was 70 million views worldwide of that video. And that's kind of where it launched. And it just blew me away that, so many people had channeled into that. And I have to credit the cast members for this. And I do this about 80% for you guys, because you guys bring the magic, and Mickey certainly brought it that morning. And it was so genuine and so pure and so wholesome. And I believe people really channeled into that. People needed to see that. So.
I absolutely believe that. I mean, and it's crazy that you didn't expect this at all, and yet you just kind of had your moment. Obviously, the cast members, I'm saying that plural because Mickey, cast member as well, had his moment, and then all of a sudden the magic just happened. And that's what I love about Disneyland, and that's what I love about the magic of Disney in general. So that's incredible. So what was the feeling like when you actually heard about this?
I was terrified.
Terrified? That's not the answer I expected.
It was because the man is such an icon, and he has given so much joy and happiness to the entire world. I had to focus on I don't want to say the amount of responsibility, because it's, I can't put into words what I felt when it went the way it did. Because after about a week later, I got a call from ABC News and Good Morning America, and I did an interview with them, and it really hit home during the interview that this was, because the interviewers were interviewing me were crying as well when I told the story, and they had to cut back. So it's I don't have the words. It's just
so did it kind of if you can't find the words, I'll find the words, because believe me, I've got plenty of questions and plenty of things we can talk about this, because I'm getting this from a kind of like a fresh perspective. I mean, yes, I knew that you were out there. Yes, I had heard of you. We actually had a gentleman on the show before by the name of Gary Robinson, who does the same thing as you do, but he mostly visits the parks out in Florida. I don't think he says he's actually ever taken, as you say, taken Walt to the West Coast. And it was a delight to see him, dressed up and, just talk to him about his experiences and everything like that. But I also know that experiences at Disneyland Park as Walt Disney has to be different at Disneyland than it is in Florida, because that's the original stomping grounds, right?
Yes. Because the following year in 2023, I did take Walt to Walt Disney World. Now I don't know if Gary was doing it by then, but I took him to their Dapper Day there, and the cast members there at the time I did it were completely just blown away. They were just couldn't believe that Walt was actually in their park. Yeah. And but like you said, with Disneyland, it is definitely a completely different feeling, because the man walked in that park.
Yes.
His spirit was there. It's still there.
And
still
slept
there,
in the park. I mean, he lived and breathed and slept and dreamed in that park. It's just, there's always that feeling of history every time, at least every time that I go in, because I've learned so much about Walt Disney. He has become a great inspiration and almost sort of an invisible mentor to me with at least my creative side. Ever since I really started falling in love with like just him, his family, his story, the parks. And I've been going since I was a kid, like, you know, since the early
Yes.
70s.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard not to, you know, just be completely magnetized to that story and to that environment. I don't know if it's the same for you.
It is. The Walt that I portray is, as a kid, I grew up watching The Wonderful World of Disney every Sunday night.
So did I.
Yeah. And that is the Walt that I first saw, the Walt that I grew up with. And you always saw Uncle Walt every Sunday night. If he was introducing a show, you know, he was there in the office with whatever the show was going to be, and there was a prop there that he was going to tell you about. And that's every Sunday night I would look forward to seeing Uncle Walt. Yep. And that's kind of the Walt that I am presenting, because I'm about the right age as he was when he did that. And
right.
But yeah, that's the Walt I portray, and the Walt that's usually was seen in the park towards his later years before he passed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, I know he passed away before I was even born, but I just
I was 3, so.
Oh, okay. But it's something that I had always like, because I had actually, when I was young enough, I saw him on TV. I saw him in television. I mean, you know, I saw him obviously on The World of Color, The Wonderful World of Disney, and all of the other documentaries and shows that were, you know, a part of the Disney universe. And because nobody told me differently, in my mind, he was still alive.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know until probably my, I don't know, double digits at least, that like he was not alive anymore and he had passed away in the 60s. And it made me sad. I remember being sad about that because I'm like, I'll never get a chance to meet him. You know, it's Uncle Walt, for crying out loud.
I'm sure that was the same for a lot of us, because I started watching the show when I was probably 5. And he'd already been gone for a couple of years by then. And I was under the same impression. This man was still alive. And I kept watching the show all the way up till I was 10 years old. And it was, you know, I began to find, you know what? We're only seeing him on this show. I don't see him anywhere else. Is he not around?
I know. It's such a sad realization, but I mean, you know, his spirit lives on in so many other things. It's there's really not much else you can say about that, because he's immortal at this point. He's immortalized in all of us. Before we go any further, I do actually want to get to our fans that are actually in the chat right now. We've got a few friendly faces, repeating visitors, and I think even at least one new one. So we're going to say hello to Patricia first. She is a longtime fan. Good evening, Patricia. It's good to see you.
Hi, Patricia.
We have Kin Garnett. This is a new one, I think. I mean, I don't think I've seen you there before, Kin, but welcome to the show. I'm glad to see you. Happy to have you. And she says really cool. I mean, we said a lot of cool things, but, you know, I'm just kind of putting up a ladder comment here. C. Andrew Nelson is in the house, says greetings from the dark side.
Oh, I've heard of you.
Darth
Vader. That's Darth Vader.
Wow. That's great. Yeah, he's actually he's been on the show a couple of times.
Yes.
And is a good friend of mine actually now. And he and I actually work for the same kind of he formed a company doing oh my God, full cast audio productions, kind of like old radio broadcast, but with like a full cast instead of just a couple of guys making noises. And we have a lot of people doing like stories from original writers and everything. It's a lot of fun.
We may have crossed paths at a few Comic-Cons. So.
You know, it is very possible. He says, Bill, I have nothing but respect for you. Blessings to you for what you do. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I want to echo that like times 100, because that's just perfect. Oh, and speaking of Gary, there he is.
There he is.
Hey, Jason, Tom, and Bill. It's Walt, the storyteller from Walt Disney World. We have got to get together.
Yes.
That'd be interesting to see you guys side by side. Have you ever come across any other people that dress up as Walt?
Yes, I actually have a friend of mine. His name is Caleb. He and I, sometimes every couple of Dapper days, he's in his late 20s and he dresses up as Walt from when he first came to California. He's got the suitcase and the vest, and sometimes we do young Walt and seasoned Walt. And we kind of go around the parks and people are like, you get to see Walt when he first arrived and Walt when he made it big. And people
Yeah.
really enjoy when we do the two Walts together. It's a lot of fun.
By any chance, did you ever see a movie called Walt Before Mickey?
Not familiar with that.
If you get a chance to, you should watch it. It's really good. It's available on, I think it's Peacock. If you have Peacock streaming service, if not, you might be able to just rent it from Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, Amazon for sure.
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of like the backstory of Walt Disney struggling to become an animator. It's the story before he gets to create the Walt Disney Company, and there is a young man who actually plays the younger version of Walt. So when you were describing that other person that you said, who plays the younger Walt versus the seasoned Walt. By the way, I love seasoned Walt. That's going to live in my mind for a while. He did a really fantastic job, and I've had the director of that movie on the show before. I'm really trying to get him on the show now too. Because then I could say I've actually had 3 Walts on the show. I'm like building up that repertoire. So Gary, good to see you. Yeah, that'd be awesome if you guys could actually ever do like a side-by-side picture. You guys should meet the next time you go to Florida, or if he ever comes out to the West Coast.
Well, we're trying to make plans to get there next year. So.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Let's see. Walt's Apartment Productions is on the show, and they say, "Holy bleep, it's Walt!" And I'm
now, this is a family show.
Yeah, I know. they were kind enough to asterisk the middle letters there, but yeah, it is Walt. And Andrew is chiming in again and saying, "I hope it was good things you heard about him, Bill."
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Patricia says there needs to be a plural word gathering of Waltz, a magic of Waltz. Yeah, maybe
I've got the Walternate universe.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
That would be a good Disney Plus show.
Wait, you didn't just make that up on the spur of the moment? You've had that in the canon, right?
I did. I'm very good with puns. I learned it from my mother.
I think you and Andrew would get along great. He does the same kind of thing. He's got one of those brains that just never stops thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go any further as well, I actually, while you were telling your story earlier about the park visit and everything, I found the ABC video that was actually made about you, which we will talk about in a moment as well. That I wanted to kind of just share. I don't want to show the whole thing because the whole thing is like 22 minutes long. It's like, them telling the story of you there as well. But I just wanted to show the opening video, which is your encounter with Mickey Mouse that you were actually talking about earlier. So give me 1 second here and we'll go ahead and pop that up on the screen and give it a play.
It was actually my 3rd outing as Walt on Dapper Day. We saw the line for Mickey, so we stood in line like everybody else. The cast member at the time.
Oh, this is the short one. We're good.
Saying, well, they're going to cut off the line. He looks at me and he goes, "Come here." So he moves us over by the door jam in front of the Mad Hatter shop, and they literally wait for Mickey to go through his line, and they direct Mickey over to me, and then you saw what happened. Mickey stops and literally is staring, and I literally almost did this, and then Mickey snapped out of it, and then you saw the hug. And that hug was a long hug, as hugs go for the characters. It was extremely genuine. That cast member was stunned. We found out later that some of the cast members backstage are saying Walt is in the park.
I will let it play out. Why not? If you're okay with that.
I was diagnosed with cancer in 2018. I had something called Waldenstrom's macroglobulbulimia, and I went through 6 rounds of chemo. And this was during it while I was doing cosplay. While I was sitting in the chair for many hours, I thought, if I make it through this, I'm going to do everything I can with this hobby to try and influence people and inspire them. Life does go on, and you can spread that life and that joy to many other people who are suffering to this. I have to look back at Chadwick Boseman. When we found out when he passed away, he was battling cancer. He was going through treatment during the movies he was in, and he kept going. He was going to inspire people and show them that even though your time is limited, you can go on, you can spread inspiration. That made a huge impact on me because that's what I want to do. I'm hoping I can just do a fraction of what he did. I've been cosplaying since 2014. We found out it was something me and my wife could do together. Everybody benefits when everybody gets to play their character. I had a woman said, I was a little girl when I met Walt. I mean, she was holding my hands. She said, I held his hands just like I'm holding yours. She was in tears, and I'm like, thank you. It's just, there was just so many stories that day. I was elated to give so much back to people. The best day ever in a theme park. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put it into words without crying myself. Walt is truly a spirit that people definitely channel into.
Wow. Amazing.
So first of all, congratulations for still being with us today. That video, I instantly became your friend, by the way. That was one of the main reasons I had to have you on the show. I was like, oh my God, I had heard of you. I saw the video. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, I got to reach out to this guy and get him on the show. Because it's not just the fact that you do what you do as Walt Disney in the parks. It's your spirit. You have a spirit about you. And I mean, whether it's the story of the fact that you beat cancer and you are still with us and sharing that magic with us, or if it's something different, you've got a spark inside of you. And I love that. And don't ever lose that, man. Don't just keep the magic alive. Yeah. So glad that you're still here with us today. So, I mean, everything's good, right? We're happy and we're clear, and the future's bright, and everything's
yes. I had my 7-year clearance a few months ago.
Wow. That's fantastic.
7 years cancer free so far.
It's amazing.
So happy to. I'm sure there's plenty of other people that are way more happier about that than I am, but from all the fans at least, congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Enough of the sub story here. I didn't even bring tissues.
Sorry.
No. It's okay. It's like I had the same reaction the first time I watched it. I have a very soft heart for stuff like this all the time. You ask my wife, I'm crying at everything, like even commercials sometimes if we ever watch them. Let's see. Patricia says, aw. And she also says, you are awesome, Bill. I would agree. And Andrew says, that video warms my heart every time I watch it. Yeah. Very touching, very touching. Okay, let's get on to some pictures, because we actually did see, obviously, the stuff that, that was in that video and the likeness that you have for Mr. Walt Disney. It's also apparent in Thomas's background, which I have to say, he is an expert at finding just the right things to put behind him on almost every show.
Thank you.
But we will actually go to our little slide presentation, because I actually took these off of Instagram videos. I was doing screenshots for like a half an hour, just like, ooh, that's perfect. Click.
Yes.
Ooh, that's perfect. Click. And I had to show a few things on screen because these are just phenomenal. Some of them are in black and white, which obviously captures the essence of Walt as we knew him. I didn't see a lot of stuff of him in color, except for like what we were talking about earlier, where he was on TV. But you actually got a chance to go to Disney Studios as well.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Oh my gosh, it was. I've been wanting to go there since I started doing this, and we'd finally gotten the opportunity to do it. And the date that opened up was actually the 70th, July 17th.
Oh wow!
So we did this in the morning before we made it to the park, and
wow,
it's extra magical.
My whole goal was to see his office, and I was just, it was such an awesome feeling to just walk through that studio, and that right there, that was,
yes.
that was everything, to be in that office and feel his presence. And okay, a little bit of the cigarette smoke, but
did it actually still smell it?
There's a little tinge, because this is where they planned, and everything came from that office. His presence was there so much. And when these pictures were taken, there was a tour just in front of us, and the tour guide who was with her tour would sneak away just to get a look at me standing in the office. She kept coming in, and I said, do you want to come in? She says, no, I got to take care of these people. And it was just because that office, I mean, think about all of the stars and the Sherman brothers and
Oh,
everybody
God,
who had
yes.
walked.
Right.
There's a piano in that office, which they were on, obviously. It's the same piano, but it was so overwhelming to be in that office, yet it was comforting at the same time to be in there. I'm shaking just talking about it. It's just,
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
it was just,
If
Walt's
there's
office.
one place that I could go back in time and just be a fly on the wall, I
Mhm.
think that would be the place I'd love to be. Because imagine like all the different, like you said, the music, the conversations about shows,
Yes.
productions, ideas, planning, everything. I mean, look at all the little trinkets behind. There's like every
Yes.
one of those things has a story to it and
Yeah.
beyond it. So there's got to be some kind of an energy in there that just makes you feel something fiercely inspiring and magical and
It
everything.
was. It just.
Right.
I want to go back someday. So,
I would love to just go there for the first time. That would be amazing.
but it was funny as we were walking, because you're walking through the campus, and as we're walking through the campus, the employees, I mean, the people who worked there, you could see them coming to the windows, and they were taking their phones out. I just
Wow.
This one I loved.
Get back to work.
Right? Yeah, I know. This one I loved as well, but I was like, oh my God, that's like a perfect pose as well. That was also taken from, I think, maybe one of the stills that I got off of Instagram. But then I saw the same one later on in black and white, and I'm like, oh my God, that looks even better.
My wife shot that.
Did she shoot all of these?
She shot about 80% of those pictures. Yes.
Wow. Who did the rest? I mean, was it a professional photographer?
No, our tour guide actually took a couple. She helped.
Wow, these are really excellent photographs too.
Mm.
Man, love pocket technology, right?
But in this picture, I as much as I have studied Walt, I knew that Walt is always looking forward, and I can always. So I set up this shot. I mean, I had him looking out the window because that's what he did. He was always thinking about the next best thing.
Definitely.
And I really wanted this shot to work.
Yeah. I think all of these worked out great. I mean, this, and even here, I mean, this might as well have been on the TV show, for crying out loud. And
Right.
This is Disneyland. It's like
this is the working office. It's right next to Walt's.
Mhm.
This is where he'd have all his Imagineers, and there's a table, and that's where the map is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. I have a couple more guests that wanted to say hello. Let me get us all back on stage and back to the right format here, because we got a star in the house. Let's see. Comments. Gary says, Mom, wife Cindy, and I, son Kobe, are here as well. Jason and Thomas, we are super grateful for you, Bill. We thank God for you. How exciting to be with all of you. God bless you all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bill, Gary was a great guest, and if you ever get a chance to go and watch his episode, we actually have it still on our YouTube.
Well, I actually did. I did watch it.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I think I did see you. I saw like it said that Bill Burns subscribed to you, and I'm like, oh yay! I wonder if he's going to watch a video. So I'm glad you watched that one. That's awesome.
Yes, Gary, I love your puppetry work. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, he is another majorly talented person, and we're going to get to your talents in just a moment, because you don't just walk around as Walt Disney. You have other hobbies as well.
Oh yes.
and you were actually very recently at a convention in Atlanta.
Yes,
right?
Dragon Con.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I did not know how big this thing was until you said that you were at Dragon Con, and I'm like looking at the feed and I'm seeing all the guests that were there and everything, and I was just in awe. It's a huge show.
70,000 cosplayers from around the world.
Holy wow. Words are escaping me right now. Oh, I didn't even see. Hold on one second here. Expedition Steve, he's from our it's kind of like a sister podcast of ours from oh my gosh, not the Laughing Place. I say the Laughing Place, the Signs of Amusement. They are actually at DCA right now for Oogie Boogie night, and they're down there with some other friends of ours too. So hi Steve, good to see you.
Hi,
Thanks for
Steve.
popping in for just a moment. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to go back to the slideshow because I think eventually we get to that. I wanted to finish off the slides that I had of you and Walt Disney as Walt Disney, because I love this little kind of side-by-side one here.
Young
Mm.
And
Walt.
yes, that is, obviously sort of the younger Walt right there. But I love the contrast.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it was Photoshop, but that's just a picture behind the wall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a picture, and if you see a little bit there, there's the Yeti off to the side.
Yeah, I saw the Yeti. I had to crop it a little bit to kind of get it on the slide presentation. So
I also, when I took this picture, I had to squat down a little bit because Walt was 5'10". I'm 6'5". So,
Oh my gosh! Wow,
yeah.
that's got to be something. Yeah, because that's quite a difference in height between.
Well,
you and
people
Walt.
will say, was Walt really that tall? And I said, well, you know what? Walt's a giant in all of our eyes. So I'm going to say, yeah.
And that well spoken, and you actually made me think of something else because you said earlier that when you're in the park, you never call yourself Walt.
No, I don't.
But you actually posted a really cool story about this little boy, I think, or a child at least, that walked up to you and said, "Are you Walt?" Can you tell us about that story and how that went down and what your answer was?
Yes. This was at the 70th, just a few weeks ago, or in July.
Mhm.
And this little boy comes running up and he's like, says, excuse me, are you Walt Disney? And I'm like, well, are you in a park where dreams, imagination, and magic happen? And he looks around. He looked around and he says, yes. And I said, so what are you imagining right now? And he says, that you're Walt Disney? And I said, you know what, pal? You're in the right place then, aren't you?
Mhm.
Absolutely. And what was his reaction to that?
He just kind of went like this. And he went running off to go tell his parents.
Who were probably like already outside of the park going like, where's our child?
well, at the time, because that was the same day the Walt animatronic made its big premiere.
Oh, yes.
Right.
So maybe the boy might have been a little confused. Did the animatronic just walk out here?
You know what? Maybe have you had a chance to watch it yet?
Yes, I watched it twice on opening day.
So I'm guessing you feel a certain way about it as well. What's your thoughts of it?
My thoughts are it was needed, for one, because in my experience portraying Walt, a lot of children do not know who he is. I have parents come up, hey, get a picture with Mr. Disney. And the kids look up at me and go, who is this large man with a mustache? So the parents have to tell them who it is. But the animatronic, okay, there was the big thing is, okay, it doesn't look like him. Well, you know what? I don't look exactly like him. But if you go and see this, the presentation, the media show, the surrounding, the curtains open up. It is Walt. It is the presence of Walt. It is a caricature of Walt. He is talking with you. This is Uncle Walt talking with you. He moves, the mannerisms. No, it's not perfect, but it's the essence of Walt Disney. He needs to be in that park. If you're a first-time visitor ever to walk through those doors in Disneyland, you see this show first. This is the first thing you should see. Because like the Abraham Lincoln show, they're going to improve upon this. It's going to look better. And from what I heard, Walt Disney World is going to get their own too. He'll be introducing the Carousel of Progress, apparently.
Yep, heard the same news.
But,
yeah, it'll be interesting.
But I say go see this show because it's the presence of Walt. You do feel that the show is a warm hug. I think that's the best I can come up with. But Walt was all about caricatures and animated looks, right? So this is basically what this animatronic is. So.
Yeah. And I saw the same things that you did probably before. I even said it a few times on this show before I actually went down there to go see it. Just a couple months ago, actually.
What'd you think?
And I had my thoughts about it before I went down because, of course, it's impossible to avoid the media and at least see pictures of what it looked like. And I said, like, yeah, you're right. It doesn't really look like him that much, but I'm going to reserve judgment until I'm there, until I sit in that seat, until I watch the videos, and I see the curtains open and I hear him talk for the first time.
Mhm.
And I am so glad that I did, because
Yes.
you put it very eloquently that it felt like a warm hug, and there was a very big buildup before the curtains opened and he was there. And the movements were so smooth and fluid. And thankfully, the show that I saw, the animatronics were working perfectly.
Yes.
So I got to see the show that I wanted to see. And I was in tears by the end of the show.
Oh yeah, when we first saw it, you could hear people sniveling and
Oh, yeah.
crying. And when he stood up from the desk, people gasped.
Oh, yeah. It's
Wow.
I knew it was going to happen, but I think
Mhm.
I was so enamored with the speech that he was giving before he stood up that I completely forgot that that was going to happen.
Mhm.
And when it happened, I was like, oh, that's right. Oh my, wow. And then he starts moving his arms around even more and everything. I think I've been waiting my whole life to see it.
Yes. Yes.
I think I've been waiting my whole life to see it. I'm going to go back to your height comment here earlier, because Andrew, being Darth Vader, is a tall guy. He says, you're his height and you could be a Sith Lord. And you know what? We're going to talk about that in a little while here, because I think you've kind of had your time as a Sith Lord, if my pictures are accurate from what I pulled online.
Maybe a little bit.
It is actually the last slide that I have in my presentation a little later. So, but we will talk about it, because I have a funny comment that I saw, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I have a title for that picture.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about it when we get there. It's pretty obvious, but then the tour continues, and there you are in front of the studios again, of course. Now, is there like a commissary out there? It's like where people go to eat or something like that, or
It appears to be a break area for the employees there, the cast members, I should say.
So this is like the back side of the building?
I think it's the front. I'm not sure. We never went to the other side of the building.
Yeah, look, you are tall. You're almost as tall as the building there where the dwarfs are.
Well, there are dwarves. There are dwarves there, so that's a little misleading.
Right, I know. Yeah, talk about perspective, right?
Yes.
We all know Disney in perspective, how they do that. Now, here we are getting into the other stuff that you have cosplayed as. Now, I was making a comment about this before the show, but you have quite a workshop set up behind you, and you have done more than just Walt Disney cosplay. So, this picture, I believe, is very recent, because the Dragon Con lanyard is around your neck.
It's about a week ago. Yeah.
How many characters have you done so far?
To date, over 20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And we got JJJ here, J. Jonah Jameson.
He's probably my favorite.
That's awesome.
And the photographer, who's that?
That's my friend Ryan. He said, hey, can I just join you? And people will just think I'm Peter Parker. So he just went around with me, and I kept yelling, Parker, where are you? I need those pictures.
Oh, nice. So do you stay in character like for these types of outfits that you do?
For Jonah, I am in character constantly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many people, when they see him coming, they're expecting a response. I get so many Spider-Man cosplayers running up to me, say something horrible to me. You're an idiot. You're a moron. Get out of here.
You know what, Bill? You should be a voice actor.
Yeah.
You could be a voice actor. You could be kind of like the angry boss. I played a character like that in one of our shows coming up soon, and that was a lot of fun.
Well,
I love being the bad guy.
My inspiration for Jonah, and I hope I get to meet the man someday, is J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any other J. Jonah Jameson?
There is no other, and I hope he shows up at a con someday, because I'm going to show up dressed like that and tell him what a horrible job he did with my portrayal.
All right. So now I got to ask, because a big part of your characters is a character in itself is your mustache.
Yes.
Let's talk about the stash, because, Walt Disney has a stash, but Jonah, he's got a little bit of a smaller stash. Or are you just like kind of pursing your lips a little bit more and it makes it look smaller?
I purse the lips a little bit more when I do him, because he's always in that constant state. The frown. Yeah. I make my eyebrows a lot bushier. I make them, you got the angry face, and
yes.
Most of my cosplays, as you've probably noticed, are designed around my mustache because I will never take it off. So,
Like I said, it's its own character,
yeah, and I've designed. Like I said, if you've seen my cosplays, a lot of them have facial hair, and they're pretty much, Walt Disney, J. Jonah Jameson, Vinny Santorini, Count Dooku. The mustache is a constant. So
You hear that, Andrew? He gave away my last slide.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's still a great picture, and I think it's hilarious. But yeah, I had to ask because you had this even before you started doing cosplay, right?
The
yeah, mustache.
I was a historical reenactor for over 25 years before I got into cosplay.
Oh, no
I started that back in 1990. I robbed trains, banks. I portrayed Wyatt Earp for about 15 years. I had a mustache so big you could see it from behind. I had a handlebar mustache. It was this big.
Get out of town. Where did you do this at?
Almost all over the Bay Area. I've been to Tombstone, Arizona a few times, done events there. I've been to Montana. I've done events up there. I've absolutely won it. I loved those years doing the Old West cosplay. It was incredible. And the natural transition after it kind of went away was going into cosplay because it was basically the same thing. We were kind of doing cosplay before it was a thing. So, and when I was younger, I looked a lot like Wyatt Earp, in his 30s. So I even had Earp relatives come up to me and say, "Are you related to us?" I'm like, no. So it's just I'm aging into different characters, and I've gone from Wyatt to Walt so far.
You like the W's, huh?
Yeah.
Now there was on the way out to Santa Cruz. There was kind of like an Old West town theme park there. You remember what it?
Yes, it was Roaring Camp, and I have robbed the train there probably 300 times.
I was wondering if that was something that you would have done. Now, Roaring Camp, I think, is one thing, but I believe that there was a different park. It was kind of like, where Santa's Village, I guess, either is or was.
Yes, I remember where it was.
There was another older one that was back in the 80s that I think was like a Western
Frontier
town.
Village.
Frontier Village. I did a narration on a DVD for a friend of mine on that, and it was like one of the coolest stories that I had actually ever read. Did you ever get to work there at all?
I haven't worked there, but I went there every summer as a kid, and Frontier Village is the reason I am here today.
No way.
Yes, because we used to go there every summer, and I would watch the gunfights and the Old West shows, and I thought as a kid, someday I'm going to do that.
Oh,
so I got the opportunity in my early 20s to go to San Jose History Park. You might be familiar with that. And I met up with a crew who were doing it. And I said, they asked me to join. So I joined, and 30, 40 years later, here I am. I mean, pretty much everything I've done up to now started at Frontier Village.
If you get the chance, the opportunity, go to, and we can talk about this after the show as well once we've finished our live broadcast, but themeparkology.com has a DVD about Frontier Village. And I told you I narrated it. I love the story, but it is such a great documentary about that park that I don't think a lot of people actually know about in the Bay Area because it's been extinct for a while now.
Yeah.
But it tells about like the opening, the history, the failures, the successes, and how much it was loved. And even after it closed, that people kept going back just to kind of relive the days and all the artifacts that were sold at auction after it closed that people still have. And it's a really neat story. So I can talk to you more about it after the show, but I mean, if you get a chance to, I think that you would love that. So we can go there later. I don't think we said this during the live show, but Gary's asking, where do you live and how far do you have to drive to Disney? You don't have to say exactly where you live if you don't want to, but
no, I'm fine. I live in Morgan Hill, California, which is about 15 miles south of San Jose. And it's probably, if we drove, it's about a 5.5 hour drive to get there. And right now we fly. We're, it's quicker, it's easier,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if I could afford it, that's what I would do all the time too. But for us, it's just cheaper to drive for now. And unfortunately, we're moving out of state pretty soon, so it's going to make it more expensive. But we are not going to stop going. We'll be in a better financial position once we do this, oddly enough, and we'll be able to actually still keep going. Will we still be Magic Key holders? I have no idea, but we'll see.
We just renewed, so.
Oh, okay. Ours are good through, I think, May of next year. So we still got some time. We got lots of time. Alrighty, let's get on. Let's continue with the slideshow here. So we got J. Jonah Jameson. Now, this one I wasn't 100% familiar with. Where'd your mustache go?
This is the. If you're familiar with DC Comics, this is a character called The Question.
Oh, okay. I've heard of The Question.
Yeah, he is a conspiracy theorist and detective, and I've always been fascinated by him. And I just wanted to bring him to Dragon Con only for a few moments because. You should really think about wearing a heavy wool coat in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
So, but it's one of these passion cosplays I like doing, and I just think the character is awesome. So,
yeah.
And then we also have another famous cosplayer, Sauron. Saruman. Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen the movies. And the firewood for sale, are we talking ints here? Is that what is for sale?
Well, when you go to Dragon Con is a lot about dark humor.
Okay.
So this was my little, and people were yelling at me, too soon!
And is this the same friend that was taking pictures earlier, or is this?
No, that is my friend Rick. He's a fellow cosplayer, and he went as Wormtongue, and we just kind of went around the con and just had a blast with this.
That's perfect.
I love the video you guys did where you're like, Saya, no such a con exists, and then you do like the pan of the downstairs lobby, and it's surrounded by like tons of people. It almost looks like the scene from the Lord of the Rings. So yeah,
that was Rick's idea. It was absolutely perfect, and
it is great.
Dragon Con even posted it to all their social media.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great. That is so great. Okay. Now, the one on the right, I am aware of. It is from a very horrific movie that was from like the probably late 80s, early 90s for Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
What about yours? This is another one that I'm not, unless it's a version of Strange.
You know what? A lot of people thought that, and it's exactly what I said. Now, the other thing about Dragon Con is people do cosplays of movies that bombed but became cult classics.
Okay.
And they asked me if I wanted to get in on this this group cosplay. And I hadn't even seen the movie. The only thing I watched that was even closely related to this movie was a documentary about what a horrible movie it was. And the documentary was better than the movie, apparently. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? And they said, we need you to play a character called Spike, who was one of the two henchmen of King Koopa.
Okay.
So what you see here, this is Spike. I had not put on this cosplay till the very few minutes after this picture was shot. I put on this cosplay, they took the picture, and when I looked at it, because they got me both of the jackets, I looked at it and said, you know what? People are going to think I'm Doctor Strange on vacation. And
run with it, man.
Yeah, I was going to say it looked great. And it's one of those, with Dragon Con, spur of the moment cosplays happen constantly, and they become legendary. So
for a little transposition here, there's the character from the movie. I mean, I know it doesn't really show all of it, but did he have like the pendant and everything too?
Yeah, I made the pendants because I couldn't find them, so I made those.
Well, hey, good job. And actually, that what do you call it? Sorry, the Koopa or Goomba or whatever the hell.
Yeah, that's a Goomba.
Goomba, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why this was so horrible, is because like none of the characters were anything like anything from Mario except for Mario himself and maybe Luigi, but that was played by John Leguizamo, which I thought was a very interesting choice. I'm sure it's talked about in the documentary as well, but
amazingly enough, when people walked by our group, they knew what this movie was.
Yeah, I know, right? As horrible as it is, you just know. Yeah, if you know, you know. Absolutely. And this is the last slide that I have.
I call this one Count Dooku's Last Supper.
That is exactly what I had in my head too.
Oh my gosh.
And that look on your face is the perfect look for being Dooku's Last Supper. It's like he knows.
Yes.
You know, I mean, always the future uncertainty, right? I mean, you can't really tell, but he knows that something's up. Like, maybe I should make this like, okay, you know what? I'm going to have the barbecue, you know, or I'll have the lobster.
Well, he certainly, you know, he didn't want to lose his head over it, right?
Nah. Well played, sir. Well played. Gary says, I love all your characters.
Thank
and
you.
Patricia says, that's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of mustaches, this seems to be the running theme for tonight, at least. I'm sorry, Bill and Gary. I shaved off my mustache only twice in my life to portray a 10-year-old Walter Elias Disney. I know you said you will keep yours. Have you ever shaved yours off?
I started growing it in 1990 in September, and it has never left my my face.
It is a permanent fixture. Good for you, sir. It's now part of who you are. You can't get rid of it now.
No, I can't.
And,
You just can't.
Yeah.
And Andrew says, impressive, most impressive.
See what you did there.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you his brain works the same way. So, well, this has been awesome, man.
I just wanted to share my picture as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. I just got so lost in it.
No,
Yes.
it's okay. So, like, just to give you guys an idea, I'm actually 5'10", 5'11", and just the height difference there. But like, we're not counting or anything. But
No,
yeah,
but I mean, like, Bill's in the background.
yeah.
And Bill, you almost look like you're even kind of hunched down a little bit for a second.
I did. I when I take pictures with folks, I kind of hunch down a little bit. So.
And that's your wife, right? Playing.
Yes,
little
my
bit.
wife Jane.
So it was so cool. I felt so starstruck in that moment. Just
A couple more questions actually about that picture and
Yes.
Your family here too. Actually, let me go back to where we were. I got it, Thomas.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Mhm.
Ah, nope. You got the media up. Where is it? Pardon our dust, folks. There we go. We're back to normal now. Okay, thanks, Thomas. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
So were you there as a invited guest, or were you there as an attendee?
What a lot of people assume, since I've been doing this, they think I get in for free, and I get, you know, I don't. I paid my way for everything that you see in the pictures. I have paid my own way to get in. I of all the cosplays and portrayals I do, I am very, very, very protective of this one. I have you will never see Walt at Dragon Con or any other Comic Con because I will not risk, say, a Deadpool cosplayer coming up with, you know, you can see where it's going.
No.
I
Yes,
can't.
absolutely.
I have too much respect for this character, this man. I will only take him to Disney-related events. There's too much reverence for this man that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you know what? Thank you for protecting the integrity of his spirit too. That's a really important thing. And I don't know if I would have ever thought about that.
And watching Gary, I'm sure Gary feels the same way because I can see it in his portrayal.
Yeah, I think it's a really strong point, and I am 100% on board with your decision on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then your wife, she is obviously a big supporter because I've seen her in like some of your Instagram videos and everything. What else has she cosplayed with you as before? I mean, I've seen her kind of like in her dapper outfits, but does she ever cosplay with you as other characters?
Oh yes, of course. We'll do things like couples cosplays, and there might be a few pictures there. We always try to do a couples thing, like little preview. Like next year, I am planning to do. We're hoping. I don't know if you're familiar with the 1966 Batman show.
Of course, I grew up on it.
Yes,
even though it's reruns, of course. But yeah.
Well, my wife wanted to do a spin-off, a character that never really appeared on the show, Killer Frost, and she wanted to do a 1966 version. So to partner with that, I am going to try and do Cesar Romero's Joker.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Because you know what? He had a mustache underneath the makeup.
Did have a mustache and it was painted over and it
Yes,
looked
it
horrible,
was.
but
And
you know what?
It has become
First
iconic.
Joker. Yeah, first Joker, right?
Yeah, so we're going to attempt to do that next year. So.
You should make like little foam signs that say Biff and Pow and have people like, doing this with the sign over your head or something.
Oh,
like
we're already planning to have somebody do the spinning bat, so we go from scene to scene.
Perfect. See, who am I talking to here? You've already got the ideas flowing. That's great. And then the last question that I had, and you kind of mentioned this to me before because, and if in case anybody's watching and going like, why isn't he wearing his Walt Disney costume? Well, you kind of told me that, you have to sort of, you just got off of work, number one. So that's obviously really important. You gotta be comfy for the show. And then also you have to wear
wait.
Oh,
maybe this will help.
Yeah. Oh my God. See, there we go. That's perfect.
Okay.
It's Walt Disney Casual Tuesday, everybody.
There you go.
But you said that you can't really see well without your glasses, like at all. Like you had to see use your glasses to see the screen, right?
Yeah, I can see far away pretty well, but up close, I'm 62, so the vision's going a little. You have to get a little bit further back now. So they're reading glasses. So
you got the farsightedness. I've got the nearsightedness. I have to wear mine all the time, and it's been that way since I was like 5, I think. So. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, so if you're in the park and you're in costume, like, do you have to wear the glasses and do you just take them off for the videos and pictures, or do you just keep them off all the time?
No, I pretty much keep them off. If people want to show me something on their phone or they want me to read something, if my wife is there, she's pretty much my handler at that point. And, but I can see fine from far away, but if I have to read like I'm reading the screen now or my phone, I have to have my bifocals on. So
yeah. And you and I were actually kind of talking about this a little bit before the show, but Gary's asking the same question. What is your line of work? He says he's 68. What do you do for a living?
I am a sign artist with Trader Joe's. I've been with the company I've been with the company it'll be 20 years next year. All the handwritten signs and shelf signs that you see, every Trader Joe's has a team of artists, and I'm part of that team. Before I joined Trader Joe's, I was a graphic designer for an ad agency for about 15 years. Was laid off, and a couple of years later, I signed on with Trader Joe's, and I love what I do. It's an incredible job, an incredible company, and I am so blessed to be able to get to do what I do with that job.
It kind of explains your creative background a little bit, graphic design to cosplay. I mean, it's a natural progression, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, even that's a little bit like, Walt Disney's journey, just, illustrating and.
100%. Yep. It's got to just evolve at some point, right? Is there any plans? Let me ask you this. When's your next trip to Disney that you're going to be there as Walt Disney himself? Do you have any plans for that yet? I know you said you're going to Florida maybe next year, but what's the
plans? Actually, next Sunday, I am going to bring Walt to a outside of the park event. It is a Disney event called the Fantasia Festival.
Oh, okay.
It is going to be at the Gene Autry Museum. It will be their first inaugural event. It's just a celebration of Disney. It's vendors, it's Q&A, there's social media guests. I was actually approached when I visited Walt's Carolwood Barn by the guy who's throwing it together, and he asked if I would, make an appearance. I said sure, and so that will be next Sunday, September 21st, and it's free. After that, my wife and I are going to be in the park October 24th through the 26th. It's kind of just a casual trip for us, but I will be there if people want to meet. And I might do, like a casual Walt look in the park. It's gotten to the point where I don't even have to, I get stopped when I'm wearing like this. And because it's a funny story. Like I had a baseball hat and sunglasses on and a hoodie, and a woman came up to me and she was in tears and she said, "Excuse me, are you the man that does Walt Disney?" And I said, "Yes. Can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like, "But I'm not." She says, "I don't care."
Doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter. I would do the same thing if I recognized you in the park, and you better believe I'm going to be looking for you the next time that I'm down there.
We'll be there October 24th to the 26th, and then we will, of course, be there for Dapper Day on November 15th and the 16th.
November 15th is the day that I am actually moving to Texas.
Are
So
you-
maybe October. Maybe we'll make a trip in October. I did tell my wife that we would do like at least one weekend trip before we move. So maybe we'll do that.
I'll also let this slip out. I haven't really announced it because we were just we had to make sure some things were confirmed. Walt will be going to Disneyland Paris in June.
Oh, we will.
So we just put down a deposit to visit Amsterdam and France. So I've had many of the cast members there ask, "When are you coming here? When are you coming here?" So
maybe I should have you back for a repeat visit, and we'll do like a Disney Paris park report trip. A trip report to find out like how your visit to Disney, like an international Disney park. Now, is this going to be your first international Disney park you've ever been to?
No, we were just in Japan in May, our very first trip.
Oh, wow.
We went to Tokyo Disneyland. And,
did you go to Tokyo Disney Sea?
Yes, I did. We went there for 3 days. That is the most incredible park you will ever see.
Yeah, I know. Andrew has the tendency to rub that in my face almost every time we bring up Disney parks around the world. He's been there too, and he says it's like one of the best theme parks in the world, in his opinion.
Well, I can give you the short version of how the Japanese reaction was. There's the only representation of Walt in Tokyo Disneyland is the partner statue. That's it. Okay. There were no pictures. A lot of people, as I walked by as Walt, weren't quite sure what was going on. They had an idea of who I was, and being as polite and respectful as the Japanese are, they don't run up to you and ask for a picture. A lot of them would walk by and snap a picture. That happened. The cast members knew who I was, and they would just come out and say hi and hello, and we'd be flashing Google Translate to each other.
Right, of course.
But I'm sure the reaction in Paris is going to be much different. So.
I bet you it will. Bet you it will. Gary is actually saying he was part of the theme park sign shop and also had 2 years of graphic design. So you guys have a couple things in common. That is absolutely incredible.
Like mines.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, and his creativeness with his puppets and everything like that, and his other cosplays he's done, and he's done like a little Fright Fest kind of thing before as different characters. He's a character in himself, and as well as you. And I got to tell you, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. Oh, well, look, a light.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
It is getting dark. Yeah. I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon because we're already past the end of our hour. I don't want to keep up too much more of your time, but I just have a couple more questions about Disneyland itself, because we obviously know you like to go.
Yeah. I also have one more question, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll get to yours in just a moment. Actually, you know what? I've been manipulating most of the time.
You kind of have. Yeah. Sorry.
I've got plenty of time.
Oh, okay. Good. Thomas, you
just teasing. I was curious if you've ever taken pictures in front of Walt's apartment, like inside on the tour.
Yes, if you go to my Instagram, we did go to Walt's apartment, and oh my goodness, it was. If you talk about the presence that there was at the office, it is the same, if not more so, in that apartment.
Wow,
I won't forget it. And when we went up there, our tour guide, she unlocked the door and she said, "You know what? I'm going to let you go in first." And I walked in and I looked in, and just, it was, his family was there. The family was definitely in there.
Wow.
It's a very tiny apartment, but it's so cozy. And I wanted the chance to go look out the window and get people's reactions, but at the time, there was a scaffolding in front, and you couldn't see out.
Oh,
okay.
But if you go to my Instagram, there are pictures of me in the apartment looking out the window, and usually the reason you're not supposed to take pictures with your phone in there, so we didn't, and they only allow 3 pictures when you're in the apartment. The photographer we had, the Disneyland photographer, he took over 30 pictures.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm hoping he shared those with you, obviously.
Of course.
Okay. Good. Happy to hear it. Did you have another question, Thomas? I'm sorry. I didn't wanna...
Well, it's not. It was just more of a comment, but I don't know. And a question: Has anyone thought, like, have you ever done like a Roy Disney cosplay? Anyone's like wanted to be the Roy to your Walt as far as a cosplay thing? Like,
I would love to have a Roy.
Yeah.
The thing is, Roy didn't have a mustache and
Yeah.
didn't have any hair either.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I would love to have a Roy or some of the. Like I said, I have the younger gentleman Caleb who does young Walt with me, and the more the merrier, because the more that we keep this man's memory alive around the world, the better. There's a young man in England who has actually done Walt a couple of times over there. So, yeah.
Perhaps I should ring them and find out if they're interested in being on the show too. I got to start getting my what would you call it? The Waltverse?
The Walternate universe.
Walternate universe. Thank you for reminding me. Back to the park. When you get inside the park, you take the left tunnel or the right tunnel?
That's a great question. You know what? I just climb over the hill and go through the train station.
You're
right
such a rebel.
So,
Yeah.
I tend to go to the right side of the park.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most of us go to the left.
Well, if I go to the right side, I get a better view of Walt's apartment and the firehouse. And it's just, I'm right-handed. I don't know if that makes a difference, but
so am I. But for some reason, I've just always gone through the left. I have no idea why. But somebody told me that if you walk through the left tunnel, because there's the popcorn cart, the first smell you get obviously is the popcorn. But guess what's through the right tunnel way is the churro cart. So depending on how early you get there, you might smell churros instead.
Maybe that's why I divert my wife from the popcorn cart, or else we won't be leaving past the popcorn cart.
She a popcorn fanatic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. I was. Until my doctor said no more. But, part of getting older, I guess. Andrew says that he goes to the right side. I always have. And yeah, when's the last time that you did go through the right side, Andrew? He says, I think it's been like over a decade since you told me that you went, but it might even be longer than that.
Now, come on, Andrew. We both go to the dark side.
So speaking of that, okay, now that we are inside the park, what's your go-tos, man? Like, what do you have to go to? Like, every time you go to Disneyland, I cannot leave the park unless I've ridden this ride. Is there any attractions like that for you?
It has to be probably Indiana Jones.
No kidding.
Yeah, that is probably one of my favorite rides. It is.
Wow. Yeah. I've never heard anybody say that before. Mostly it's Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. Those are like the two.
Those are a close second.
Yeah.
Right neck and neck to each other.
Yeah. Mine is definitely the Haunted Mansion. It's, my favorite, especially when they do the holiday overlay. I haven't gone this year, but I really hope to before they take it down.
Now, if you're talking Disney World, Tron is my favorite ride.
Oh yes, it's the best. It's the best. Yeah.
I love Tron.
Yes.
Anyway.
The last trip that I took out there with my friend Mimi, another former cast member at Disneyland Park, and also a good friend of mine, we went together and I rode that for the very first time. And aside from sitting in the dang seat the wrong way and getting like the skin on my calves pinched in the wrong way because I didn't put my feet far down enough in the straps, it was an amazing ride. And I'm not talking just the roller coaster. The experience of being digitized and put onto the game grid was, I didn't expect that at all. Because I went in with no spoilers, and when I was inside and it all happened, and like all of a sudden it's like the digital realm, and then the cycles pull up and everything. That whole experience was just out of this world.
And from now on, when I go back, I will I will always take the front motorcycle. I insist. I will never not sit in the front of that ride.
Do you have a choice? Do they let you? Do you always ask, like,
Yeah,
hey,
you can
I
ask.
be in
You
the
can
front?
ask them if you want to wait. Yeah, they'll let you.
That's cool. Yeah, I know it's always a wait. I used to do the same thing with the Incredicoaster over at California Adventure, so it's really not much different. That's
Mhm.
the seat, especially if you want like that, just that POV of all the tunnels and everything without seeing
Yeah.
anybody in front of you. I mean, I'm a tall guy. I can kind of see over the seats, and I know all the stuff is kind of happening mostly above you, but I still
Mhm.
I don't even want to have to do this. I just want to look straight ahead and just experience all of it with no obstructions. So, Thomas, remind me, have I ever asked you that question? Like, what's your go-to?
I think you have, but I would probably say either something in Fantasyland, just because it's like I feel like it's has the most magic for me, for what I picture Disneyland being like back then, and then Space Mountain. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Good
I
one.
think if People Mover were still existing at Disneyland, I would say that People Mover, but it's not there.
One more question for you, Bill, because we're going to hop
Mhm.
over to the other park now for Disney California Adventure. Twilight Zone Tower of Terror or Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout? Which do you prefer?
I gotta say, Mission Breakout.
Awesome. I love you, man. We became friends again. Not that I ever lost you, but I mean, yeah, ever since they did the layover and everybody was skeptical and the naysayers and blah 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 blah.
I think it's great. The music,
it's better.
everything. Yes,
It's better. Yeah. I mean, the music is definitely like the factor, because as soon as Rocket gets on top, you see his silhouette and he plugs you in and the music starts playing. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it pumps you up before you even go up that first lift. So it's hard not to love that ride. Gary says, we keep moving forward opening. Wait a second. I don't think this one is Gary. I think this might be his son. He said it's Kobe earlier. Kobe and I, this is Kobe. That's his son. Gary is his son. His name is Kobe. Sorry, I want to make sure I cleared that up. Wanted to let you know that you are a bright light, Bill. Thank you for sharing this wonderful moment with us. #legendary.
Thank
Love it.
you.
Trend it, people. Trend it.
Trend it.
Yeah. So let's see. Another quote here. We keep moving forward, opening night. This looks familiar. Opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. Doesn't it ever? Thank you, Uncle Walt, and thanks for the quote, either Gary or Kobe. I don't remember. I don't know who it is now. And Patricia says, Mission Breakout was my favorite ride when we went. Yeah. Amazing ride. Amazing ride. All right, Bill, I'm going to go ahead and call her quits for the night. Any closing comments? Actually, one final question. God, I keep thinking of all these questions.
No, it's fine.
Walt's alive today, same age as you are right now. What do you ask him?
That's a great question. I think I would ask him, am I doing this right? Am I doing right by you? I don't want to see your spirit go away, and there are those of us that are going to do the best we can to make sure it's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah. Definitely. That deserved an awe for sure. That's a great question. I have no idea what I would ask him. I mean, I'd probably just be like, Walt, something silly like that.
I think, well, if Walt and I ever met, I honestly think the first thing he would say to me is like, I wish I was that tall.
Oh my God. I definitely got to have you back on again, man. Maybe we should do
Sure.
another episode if you're up for it sometime
Sure.
in the future, just to hang out. And it doesn't even have to be about you. We could talk about just your other experiences at the parks. We could make it about a specific ride at a park, or I'm guessing you like Disney movies and stuff like that too.
Mhm.
And you're obviously a Star Wars fan. You're a Marvel fan as well.
And DC.
And DC and Pixar. You like Pixar stuff as well?
Yes, of course. I like to cry a lot. Thank you, Pixar.
Yeah, I think exactly. So, yeah, thank you, Pixar, indeed. In fact, we are actually going to have a couple of Pixar stars with us on our show, repeat Pixar stars on our show next month. We are going to have Mr. John Morris, the voice of Andy from Toy Story 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, wow.
And because I believe they're celebrating an anniversary for the first Toy Story. I think 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know it's 30 years because I've been doing my job for almost 34 years now, 34 or 35 years.
So
And
Andy has kids and a mortgage now, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Although, hey, Toy Story 5's coming up. Anything's possible, right? And
Yeah,
maybe it'll be like a cameo appearance or something like that. And I did ask John, but obviously
He can't tell you.
He wouldn't be able to tell me even if he did know, but at the time he said nobody has contacted me. But I'm thinking happy thoughts, and I'm putting good vibes out there into the universe because I want it to happen. I need to see it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then our other special guest next month, right the week after John, actually, is we got Miss Mary Gibbs returning back, and she is the voice of Boo from Monsters Inc. She's all grown up now, and we're gonna have some fun talking about the movie, or maybe even something that she wants to talk about. I have no idea. So maybe one of these days we'll do sort of like a crossover. We'll have we'll have the Walt Disneys on, and then we could have maybe a Walt Disney and Boo or something like that, just to say like, hey, Walt, you never got to see Pixar come into light. What do you think of the movies?
Well, if it's Monsters Inc. and Walt, Walt's always talking about opening new doors.
Yeah, see, oh my God. How did I not see that connection?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yep. All right. Well, thanks for bringing such a light and such magical stories to our show. It is a pleasure having you on the show. If you guys want to check out Bill and all the other stuff that he's done, I only showed like a fraction of the things that he's got on his Instagram. And I apologize, Bill. I will go correct this later on my social media channels, but it is Bill Burns with a Z.
Yes.
Cosplay. On, I think, Instagram, and is it the same on TikTok?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so Bill Burns with a Z cosplay on either Instagram or TikTok. Go check him out. Spread the magic, share the wealth, and tell your stories, guys, because that's how we make magic in this world. And that's the reason why I wanted you on the show, Bill. And again, thank you so much for coming on. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thomas, any final words?
I was just going to say that the Funko Pop for Walt looks more like you to me than a Walt. It's like when I met you, I bought this and it really looks like Bill Burns.
Funko Pop stash.
Yes.
All right, folks, for those that are still watching, thanks for sticking around with us tonight. It was a great show. Next week on Tuesday, what is that? That's going to be the 23rd. We're going to have some new people on this show. We are increasing our family by 2. So I may have mentioned in the past few episodes that we were looking for some new co-hosts. They have been found. They have been hired, if you will, I guess, for lack of a better word. And they will be in our show next week just to talk and get to know them and add them to our fun little magical family here. So thanks for sticking around, guys. Until that time, be safe, be good to one another. Love you all. Thanks for the support as always, and have a great evening. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to another fun-filled episode of Main Gate Magic. We hope you enjoyed the show. It's been our pleasure bringing a little Disney magic into your life. Please remain seated while the show comes to a complete stop, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times. For more information about upcoming episodes, please make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. You are now free to exit the show. Please watch your step, and be sure to tune in next week for more Main Gate Magic. Bye-bye.